Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio crap. And it's not necessarily crap. I just called it crap because it's a play on my name. Anyways, my name isn't crap. Maybe it is crap. I don't know. It's Andy's Audio Crap, and we talk about audio crap. That's enough of that. Today we're talking about an Optonica. This is an 4705. Which they have several variations of this model, several being, I think, just two. There might be three. I am a fanboy of Optonica in general. I feel like they did a really good job. It's just that market at the particular time when Optonica came out, they were fighting against the big boys, and it's almost like trying to introduce a luxury line for vehicles, right now in today's market. I mean, that's just next to impossible, right? So what is Optonica? They are Sharp, division of Sharp, and Sharp really wanted to have a high-end brand. And so Optonica was their attempt at that, and it was. They did some fantastic stuff, but ultimately didn't make it. I do keep an Optonica around all the time for my own personal use. I love to work on them, and I think I'm one of the few that like to work on them. They do have some frustrating points to deal with. They're pretty unique. They just don't share a lot of parts with other players, but once you get familiar with them, they're easy to work on. I've never got one in that wasn't like actually playing records, like the motor was seized or anything like that. It's always been the finer details of the tone arm won't lift or something like that. And really, on this particular model, the 4705, the 3-volt motor that controls the tone arm lift, it's easily corroded. I guess not easily corroded would be the word to use, but over time the contact points in it, they just through not getting used, they're copper, they're gonna age just like any other copper like potentiometer or anything like that, right? And so they start to misbehave, and all you have to do is just crack it open, put some deoxit in there, put some new lube around the contact points where the motor spindle contacts the frame. So anyways, not a big deal. It's just, you just service the motor and they're usually up and running. I will pull a capacitor here and there when I'm working on them to test them. In this case, on this one, I pulled a couple of capacitors and they were all within 10%, and actually most of them were just almost spot on. I think I tested 4 in this one. I have another one that I'm going to do a video on here real quick, and it was testing within 10%. So in that case, I don't pull them. That's extra labor, and that increases the cost. So in this case, I just left them, and it works just fine. Everything on here works great. The size of the record is 30 or 17, so you can play your little one-hit wonder discs, and then you can adjust your speed, 33, 45 obviously for the smaller records. The power on off is a solid switch. Like, when you push this, it turns the power off for the whole unit. You can't just go hit play and it'll automatically turn itself on. Some units, if you're used to, like, the Dual I had in here on the last review or future review, wherever you are in line of these reviews, if you pull that tone arm over, even if the unit looks like it's off, it'll kick itself on. So this is not the case in these. So when I turn this off, everything is off, no matter where that tone arm is setting. So you'll see it's coming to a stop. So we'll turn it on and it'll immediately react. Okay, so from an operational standpoint, the pitch adjustment view window is right here, so you can see how close you are to the correct pitch. pretty easy to do that. If you're not familiar with it, there's videos on how to do it. The Q button is your up and down. So if you're mid record and you want to stop it or something like that, or just pause it, that's that. It does have a repeat button where you can, let me see here, did I turn off the Q? Oh, you have to hit the play button. No, darn it, okay. Turning it off and turning it back on didn't do it any favors there. Let's try the Q. Whoa! All right, let's try the Q. There, it worked perfectly. All right, turning it on, turning it off. I think it forgot it was on Q. All right, so let's turn it down because it's going to be really loud. The cut is just stop, essentially. The play is play. The repeat means it's going to go to the center of the record and come back out. Now, the other Optomic that I have, it has a selection in throughout here, and it allows you to select the track on the record that you want to play. So if you wanted to play like track number 2, and hit play. Those are harder to come by. I don't think they sold a whole lot of those. That is the style that I do keep for myself. I really like the convenience of that. The other nice thing about this turntable, that some turntables have this, but you look down here and you see this little peg and you're like, well, what the heck is this little peg here for? There you go, that peg right there. And it is actually to test whether or not your needle is in the right spot or not. So if you're not familiar with it, you want that needle to be in the exact right spot so that the arc has the needle in optimum position here in the center of the record. Pretty cool. I like that sitting there as a reference point. The weight on this thing also is, you know, kind of gimmicky. It has a little, you know, dial here at the side. A lot of them do have dials. A lot of the turntables do have dials, so not a big deal. But the main party trick of this thing is this cover. And if you're familiar with vintage turntables, finding a dust cover that is not scratched in any way is just never, right? So the glass top is always good. I have yet to receive one of these where the glass top is shot. And I work on, I don't know, 1 or 2 of these every year. And I've never had one come in where the glass top was scratched. I'm sure you can scratch them, but through normal use of just, you know, putting your record sleeve on top of it or whatever, it's not gonna mess it up. Not true with the plastics. That, I think, is about it. These things are awesome. One of my more popular videos came out. I was kind of making fun of this, calling it the bathtub turntable. It really is kind of funny that they recessed it in here. It just looks cool. It has this flat surface on top instead of the bow. So pretty cool stuff. I really like these players. I think I've said that at least 20 times in this video. I would encourage you to consider one. I know that there are people out there that really didn't like them. And I think that's just, maybe they haven't experienced one, or the style just doesn't speak to them, or they've had a bad experience with one. I'm kind of on the polar opposite end of that. It's always been a good experience. Like them a lot. All right, let's call that a review. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Hopefully be doing a whole lot of reviews here real quick, because taking all this stuff into a consignment, stereo consignment shop. Thanks for watching.